everybody, and welcome to the Two Player Podcast with Matt Likes Games and Ham Solo. Enjoy the show. And welcome to the Two Player Podcast with Matt Likes Games and Hamathy Solo. Enjoy the show. Everybody, and welcome to the Two Player Podcast with Matt Likes Games and Ham Solo. Enjoy the show.
Not off, and we are live. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Two Player Podcast with myself, Matt, and Ham Solo. How are you doing, sir?
Pretty good. Chilling.
That's good to hear. That is good to hear. Now, we've got a pretty good amount of stuff to talk about this week, but before we get into that, what have you been playing? What have you been up to?
Forza. I've been playing the heck out of that last few days since it just dropped. Starfield. Been playing some of that. Gran Turismo. Was playing some of that. Got back into that because of Forza coming out.
Remember,
played a little bit of
stay in
Final
your torque
Fantasy
curve for maximum
16
acceleration and redline your shifts. The engine can handle
and some Siphon Filter.
Okay. The original Siphon Filter.
The original. I was loving on the tape. The taser that I mean, come on, PlayStation, bring back Siphon, bring back those taser effects on flat. Like, you tase them, you can tase them from a good distance. It's pretty bad. You can tase them, and then their body gets shaking, smoking, they're on fire, and you can just hear them scream. I want that back. I think that'd be phenomenal. Unlimited taser, give it to me.
Thank you, Mike, in the chat for pointing that out. I had the audio on the game on like a doofus. Thank you for pointing that out, Mike. I do have
that's great.
I do have music in the background this week. If I need to turn it up, let me know. If I need to turn it down, let me know. If it's fine, just let me know. Regardless.
Are we jamming?
Yeah, we do have some music in the background. So hopefully you guys can hear it. We'll see. But as for myself, I mean, Forza, Starfield, Cyberpunk, that's kind of what I'm doing. And what, 9 days you got to throw Spider-Man 2 into there. It's a busy time. It's a very busy time for gaming. But other than that, I'm doing great. I mean, it's been a fun time. Also, just some personal stuff. We did actually just get approved for the house, so that is official. We will be moving in sometime November 10 to the 20th. We'll see how it all goes, but we're approved. Everything's good, and it's a great time to be playing games. So with that being said, let's actually get into some of the topics. First off, I mean, let's start with probably the one we've talked about most just in chat at this point, because I think it's the funniest. And that is the new PlayStation 5 Slim console. I mean, first of all, I'm going to ask you your impressions. When you see the photo of the two PS5s, because there's a digital and a digital, what do you think? Without even talking about the price, just what do you think when you see the two?
I don't need it.
You don't need it. I mean, I'm right there.
That's the first thing that comes to mind is I just don't need it.
I don't blame you. I'm right there with you, man. I don't need that, but you know, it's one of those things that if you're getting the PS5, I guess this is the one. Just continue the old ones, right?
Dude, I don't know if it's just me, but your gameplay on Forza is just bad.
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna turn that off. It's gonna be Cyberpunk. My audio's skipping. What's going on? My audio shouldn't be skipping. Let me know if that continues, Mike. Do I sound?
Did you
good
turn off the ultra low latency thing?
No, I have that on, but I'm streaming at 1080p.
Oh man, I don't even know why you use ultra low latency.
I'm botting. That's not good. Let me try something really quick. The audio's fine now. Audio's fine now. Okay, cool. But yeah, getting back into the PS5 Slim, I mean, I'm right there with you. I don't need it, but it's one of those things. They're discontinuing the current models, I believe, right? That is their plan. So this is now just what you get when you buy a PS5. So, you know, if you're looking for a slimmer model, I guess there you go. But as far as
it is better technically, though. Technically, I mean, this one is better for the disc version.
Yeah.
For the disc version, this is a better deal.
Yes, definitely.
For the disc version, it's like for real.
and that's exactly what we're gonna get into. We're gonna get into a few things on this, but the pricing is just weird to me. I mean, they upped it from 825 gigabytes and the original PS5. Now it's 1 terabyte for both consoles. That's cool. But they've upped the price of the digital console for $450. So it was $400, now it's $450, and they're taking out a stand, so you can't stand it vertically. They have this horizontal stand now, and everybody talks about how I mean my PS5 is horizontal, honestly, so I guess it really doesn't affect me. But everybody talks about how like hideous the PS5 looks horizontal. I mean, I think it looks fine, honestly. It's about as good as it can look. But what are your opinions on this price for? You said the disc version was priced pretty fairly. I mean, that's kind of I agree with that. But the digital's
Yeah.
the one. The digital's the one that I look at and I'm like, that just doesn't make any sense to me. That should be less
Yeah,
expensive.
the disc version is fine to me, even though I know traditionally when we go a few years through a console or something like that, it'd be cheaper. S- And that's the reason why they're making said console is the cut on cost in certain areas that they didn't or weren't available before, but technology grew.
Yeah.
And now this massive piece is now, like a centimeter or a couple
Mhm.
centimeters or something like that. Or like the like I don't know, whatever. Something technology smaller. But
Yeah.
um but yeah. I mean, I thought that was fine. Although I'd like to see if they're making a revision of anything, and it's the same thing for it goes for really for any console. Like you, unless you're adding something like a little bit different, kind of like what the Switch did with the OLED screen. I felt like that was not a pro,
Mhm.
right? But
Mhm.
it added a little bit more value just out of the
Yes.
display. So the price, I mean, $50 more. I don't know. That's a little steep to me, but I mean, I get it, right? Because they added that, they added the network adapter thing that wasn't available in the other one,
Yeah.
for the dock. I think they added like, oh yeah, and the kickstand or something like that.
Yeah.
Um, right. Um, but those were pretty noticeable. This one, for this PlayStation 5 disc, I think they supposedly updated the disc drive or something like that for it.
Yes, I do believe they did. Let me get the specifics on that on their
And
website.
it's now like 1,000, and now it's 1 gig, or not 1 gig, 1 terabyte now as
Yes, it
well.
is 1 terabyte.
And I think that's it, right?
Yeah, it's a 1 terabyte. I don't see any of the specifics uh on the disk drive, but it is 1 terabyte now. That is one of the upgrades. Uh, Also, well, actually, there's no Wi-Fi upgrade because it already had Wi-Fi
Wi-Fi 6.
6, so that didn't really need upgrade. They already had the about the best you could get there. But yeah, it's really just that storage update, which is welcome because games are just dumb big now, which is kind of getting ridiculous at this point. But it is what it is. We're continuing to play them, so who knows? But yeah, I look at this PS5 and the PS5 digital because I'm somebody who got the digital first, just simply due to the fact. And Jeremy Brown in the chat says, "I thought the PS5 was a flawless, future-proof design. I thought Mark Cerny was a genius." Well, I mean, listen, nothing is ever really flawless, apparently. So, you know, it's got some flaws. It's Jeremy Brown also says it's 850 gigs, 150 gigs. Yes, that's true. So basically, the original PS5, and it works the same on Xbox as well, but the original PS5
Right.
was something like 825 gigs total on the SSD. It ended up being more like 630 gigs available to you. Series S was really bad with that because 512 gigabytes, and then it ended up being like 364 gigabytes, which was pretty rough. But now they got the 1 terabyte Series S, so kind of makes things better there. But it is what it is when it comes to that kind of stuff. It sucks, but You need that storage for the OS, unfortunately,
Yeah.
which is why I think a lot of these, like, not a lot, all of these console creators, if you're especially Xbox and PlayStation, Nintendo can get away with it because they smaller games and everything, but Xbox and PlayStation, you should be doing like 1.2 terabytes, so you have a terabyte of actual storage for games. That's just something you guys should be doing. And you can
Right.
do that. There are drives, especially if you get them proprietary and stuff, built entirely for your console. You can get those drives made, and you can get a good price on them probably if you're or if you're getting a lot of them made and buying a lot of them. So that's something we need to start doing. Hopefully, we do that next generation, but I for some reason doubt it. But I just don't get the pricing, man. You're taking away the stand, the vertical stand. You're
Yeah, that's
boosting
weird.
the price to $50 more, and then you're saying, well, you can also get a disc drive for your discless PS5,
For $80.
which will then cost you more than it would to just buy the disc-based PS5.
I think that's just kind of, I mean, I hate to say it, but I feel like that's kind of regular business.
I see. I would agree with that if it weren't for like the whole point. I was telling you this yesterday. We were talking about it. I feel like the whole point of a discless console is to pass savings on the console onto the customer so that you can upcharge them on games. Because it's like, especially for PlayStation, you don't have a place where you can go and buy digital games for PlayStation outside of PlayStation. That doesn't exist. There's no place to do that. So it's like they're in charge of the prices at which you buy their games digitally. So they're like, here's a little bit of a discount on the console, but you're going to be, instead of going to your local game store and buying, like you did, Ghost of Tsushima for like $25, it's
Yeah, 30.
it's $70. It's $70
Yeah, I know.
here.
It's
So
awesome, right?
so it's like I kind of feel like you should be passing those savings, but they're doing the exact opposite of that, where it's like we're upcharging you a little bit on this console, and we're not giving you other options to buy our games digitally. And that's why I kind of feel like this is weird. Because if it was the same
Well,
price, it wouldn't be.
they
Wouldn't be a
have
big
kind of
deal.
got a little bit of flack for that, for not just being as available, and only having kind of a one-stop shop for being able to buy their games. I know they've been attempted to be sued a few different times
Yeah,
by other people. I'm not sure if they won or not because I didn't really
I
care to
don't
look
think they.
that deep
I
into
don't think
it,
they did. They lost
or if
that.
it just kind of got like swept under the table and paid or something like that. Like who knows what really happened, but I just know that, man, like, um, I feel like as good as Sony is, like historically, that they're really kind of really pigeon footing it a little bit,
Hmm.
and and in all the wrong ways. Like they're just kind of being so tight to where I'm just like, I wonder how this is gonna work for you because you're opening because your way to entering something new or trying something out is very toe dipping, and then let everybody else run out there and figure it out, and then uh you come back with like a stronger, smarter plan, but then it might be a little too late. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they got by luckily with the PS3 generation when they kicked it in gear and figured it out, right?
Hmm.
But I'm just like, how long are you going to continue to give other people the opportunity to just surge past you? Like just today, right? There's talks about PlayStation coming out with their cloud gaming.
Oh yeah. Wait, I didn't even see that. Hold on a second. Where's that at? Look for
Yeah,
it.
go to Tom Warren. He busted that open.
I'm gonna go look for that. I'm sorry,
Mm-hmm.
continue.
No, I was just more or less saying that, like, they're just kind of late to the party because they're trying to figure out the best way to do stuff because I mean, maybe I'm thinking exactly what it is. They can't afford to make mistakes like Microsoft can.
Yeah,
So when they try something out and just, give a little effort, but don't put too much effort into it, and then somebody else goes out there and writes a plan, but but they're going kind of all in on it. They're like what did Ron Swanson say? They're whole
they're
assing it.
whole assing it.
Yeah, they're whole assing it. Then Sony's like, oh shoot, like I see what they're doing now. Let me try to put a little spin on it to make us a little bit better than them. They did that with the whole cloud thing and streaming. They did that with their rewards program. You know, they're doing that with PC games.
Mm.
I mean, they just kind of got their hands in a bunch of different cookie jars, but they're not really set on anything other than their actual console, which is fine in a way. But then not only do you do that, but then you kind of like oddly place different things around. Like, here's 5 games on PlayStation on PC, just random, right?
Yeah,
And on the subscription service, it's just like we're bringing you, games to the backwards catalog. Dude, that backwards catalog has not really grown
yeah.
since they started it.
I haven't seen news of any additions or any big
Mm.
additions.
And they got
So
a lot of different games. I'm wondering, like, what's the holdup, and why is it that we keep it just kind of seems like they're band-aiding thing after thing after thing instead of like really looking deep further into the future. Like, I don't or maybe they are and they're just really quiet about it. I don't know. But like,
mhm.
as for the VR2, like I'd expect to have heard some masterful game for that at this point. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like something on along the lines of like a Spider-Man or a God of War. You're telling, I mean, hell, even Astrobot.
yeah,
Like like I would have thought I would have heard something big coming out of there instead of just Horizon.
yeah. Just climbing.
And then like for the whole PC thing, that's just like, what's going on? Why isn't there yet a launcher? What are you guys doing? They're really late to the party in mobile.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
I just don't know really what they're doing, but what they have made sure that we're aware of is that you can definitely get you definitely just need to get the console. You need to get the console, but we don't know about the games. We don't know about all these things that they're supposedly supporting. Things don't really make sense. Here, I got my PlayStation Portal, but I cannot play cloud gaming. Great. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying? Like there's things that are just like not meshing, not really making sense. I got this VR, but I can't plug it into my PC, or like it's just, but we have PlayStation games on PC. Like it just, like, things are just not meshing.
no, not yet.
Weird.
It's not mentioned yet. I saw Jez tweet something like a little bit interesting. I don't know if I entirely agree with it, but I do think it's an interesting perspective. It's he says the fact that PlayStation can just increase the price of its stuff so easily says to me that they don't see Xbox as a threat anymore. We're far, far from the days of the PS4 and Xbox One launch. And I see what he's saying there, where it's like, if PlayStation's cool with just like there was no sort of like clarification on their part after they posted the prices and the pictures and everything of the new PS5s. There was like no clarification on their part. They said, this is the price, this is what you pay. It doesn't come with a stand anymore. And if you buy a disc drive for your digital PS5, it will cost you more than the disc-based PS5. And they didn't explain anything after that. And they just said, deal with it. And that's kind of their, like, when they raise the prices of their subscription service. Deal with it. Like, that's the price now. Where it's like, I don't know if it's because of Xbox. Like, I don't know that I agree that they don't see Xbox as a threat. I just feel like they're leaning heavy into the thing they do. You said it before, they're like the Apple of gaming. And they're very much leaning into that, where it's like, hey, yeah, you can go over there and you can get a better deal and you might get some better things from time to time, but at the end of the day, we're like the word of mouth premium thing. So you can either buy into that or don't, but it's not going to change what we do. And especially because they got the fans that they do, like, they got no reason to change, really. If people are going to keep spending money, then it's like, what do you expect them to do?
I've been saying it for a while. PlayStation is the Apple of gaming.
Yeah.
And the Xbox is the Android one. Xbox wants to be accessible on whatever you got.
Yeah.
That's Android. Oh, that's fine. You want to use this weird Casio phone? Sure. Android.
Yeah.
You know, Samsung, Android. Oh, you want premium? Okay, get the Samsung. Android. Oh, Huawei? Yeah, sure.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Android. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And Xbox is right behind them, like, sure, Game Pass. Throw it on there. That's good. Get it going.
Yeah.
That's great.
Exactly.
Tablet? Oh, yeah, that's fine. And the thing is it's going to Apple and Android, right? PlayStation is working on it. And I'm really interested in how they end up actually dropping an app. I mean, Xbox is still working on it technically too. They want to get a whole like store for your phone, just like Google Play.
Yeah.
And I mean, that really has me interested in, like, I mean, people were thinking Xbox is coming out with, a handheld, right? I think it's going to be a phone.
I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if they came out with their own thing, but it's basically...
I think it's going to be a phone, and it's going to be like a Switch pretty much, but it takes phone calls.
Bring back Windows Phone. Maybe.
That's what I'm saying.
Maybe. That would be interesting to see. I think
it'd be really.
I think they can do something like, because I see, like, the thing is, I don't think it'll be native. That's the thing. I see them making basically that Logitech G Cloud, but first party. And as you said, maybe it's a phone. Maybe it's a phone. Maybe it's a little bit smaller than the Logitech G Cloud, but it's first party. It has their own app on it. It's all proprietary, and I could definitely see them going that route for their handheld if they were to make one. I mean, for me personally, obviously, I want a native handheld. The way Microsoft's going, I don't see them making a native handheld system just to have to then make games for it, specifically for it, as opposed to just for the console and then stream those to the handheld. So we'll see. And I'm hoping they do something because it is a market that they need to tap into in some way.
I think if they're gonna do it, they're gonna go full blown into it. If they're talking about making an app, why wouldn't they want a phone that
Yeah.
works the best with the app? That
Yeah.
works the best with their what on what they're trying to provide to the customer through like Game Pass and really all these other things, Skype or whatever. I'm not sure if Skype like Teams or I don't know, whatever. Right?
Yeah.
I just see them really trying to dig in deep and not just be. I mean, there's a point where I don't think they want to spend too much money on hardware stuff. But I mean, a phone is literally something you have with you all day.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't they want to be with you all day?
That's a good point. I think it makes. I mean, they already did the Windows Phone. I don't think it's unreasonable to expect another phone from Microsoft, especially now that, like you said, they've got this app that they really want to push, and the service they really want to push. It comes pre-installed on the phone. I mean, I thought Windows Phone was pretty. I thought the Windows Phone was dope. I thought Zoom was dope. But it's just stuff that, for whatever reason, they just kind of cut their losses and ditched it. But now that they have an actual sub-service and an app that they will be pushing on that thing, they have a reason to keep it around, a reason to keep selling you those products. I think it makes sense. And I do like that idea, honestly. Hopefully they get around to doing that because it would be very welcome. Honestly, I mean, I'll ride this phone out, and if they announce that, I'll grab one. I will grab one for sure. I mean, especially if it's price competitive to like what. I mean, the new iPhone just released. I forget the price for it. It's like $9.99, right?
I think it's 12,
12. Okay,
but it could be 1,000. I mean, what does it matter at that point?
that's true. That's a good point. It really doesn't. Once you're up near $1,000, whatever the price is, it doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
After
Um,
850, it starts to look grim.
exactly. But I mean, yeah, I just thought that tweet from Jez was interesting. I guess. Do you see any truth in what he said? That PlayStation doesn't see Xbox as a threat, or do you think it's not that?
I mean, it's just as much. I believe it just as much as hearing Phil Spencer say we don't see PlayStation as a threat.
Hmm. Okay. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think it's just
Yeah.
posturing. I think
Yeah.
it's trying to say that the old saying, never let them see you sweat.
Yeah.
Like we don't see them as a threat, but we went to court to stop what they were doing. Okay.
Yeah. We didn't
Okay.
like what they were doing, so we took them to court. We try to get it. We try to get it stopped. We try to get what they're doing stopped, but they're not a threat. Okay.
I mean, it's just like to me, that's like the heat being like, we're not really that worried about Giannis. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
it's like, sure. Yeah.
We didn't.
Okay.
We didn't want Damian Lillard anyway. We didn't really want him. We're fine.
Oh, right. Yeah. We're not too worried about Lillard, right? Oh, right in the sore spot, right? Yeah, we'll be fine without him. We'll be good.
Yeah, we're
Mhm.
fine. It's
Okay.
all good. Yeah, but that's interesting. I mean, but that is the new. That is PlayStation's model as of late. It seems it's just like we'll upsell you because we have the brand power to upsell you, and it's makes me wonder how long. I mean, how many generations does Xbox have to just crush it before? Like, this is the first generation, especially after the Xbox One generation. I mean, 360 was amazing, Xbox One was what it was, started terrible, ended, but it had some ups and downs throughout. And then this generation's pretty damn great so far. Do they have a great generation this generation? Does it take another generation of being great and then another generation of being great to finally be like finally have people go like, oh yeah, that's right, PlayStation isn't the only console? Because I just feel like PlayStation has a certain type of brand name where it's like they're afforded the ability to mess up quite a bit. Whereas you look at Xbox and they're not really afforded that. Nintendo's definitely afforded that to some degree. But it's interesting. Regardless, I think Xbox is doing all the right things that they need to do. And I think PlayStation is just, it doesn't really matter because they're just going to keep doing what they're doing. So, you know, it'll work out how it works out, but it's going to be interesting to see either way. As for some more topics, though, I did want to bring this up just because, I mean, I find it really exciting. I don't think there's any official news on it other than some sort of teaser that kind of leaked for possibly Titanfall 3. Did you see this at all?
I did not.
Okay, so I wonder if I can find it on YouTube and bring it up here on the channel. Because the Twitter video is kind of. But it was a teaser for a game by Respawn, and it says in the teaser, let me see, it says Worldwide Reveal 10/27/2023. And it kind of fades out, and then the 3 in 2023 is the only thing left. And you're thinking, I mean, what do they make? And it's silver letters. So you're thinking, what do they make that it would be the third of something? I mean, it's technically Star Wars, but that game's not ready yet. I mean, come on. And then the only other game really is Titanfall 3, and let me bring it up here. But I'll just play this quick little teaser on the stream. Doesn't really need sound, honestly. But yeah, Worldwide Reveal 10/27/2023. And then it just fades. And then there's a 3 left. And, I mean, you see all the stuff circulating about Titanfall. They fixed the servers. They're adding new game modes. They're actually acknowledging that the game exists for, like, the first time in many years. Since, like, 2018, probably. So, it seems random, but it does seem possible we could be getting a Titanfall 3. And we won't have to wait very long to find out what this is, whether it ends up being Titanfall 3 or something else. But what are your thoughts? Do you have any thoughts? Are you excited for a Titanfall 3?
Yeah, absolutely. Especially if they bring back a dope story. Like, what I don't want them to try to do is like, oh, we noticed Titanfall's dope. Let's bring back just the multiplayer. Like, come on.
No, they can't do
like,
that.
let's not do that. Like, you gave us a fantastic story in 2. 1, we let slide. 1, we let slide because we didn't know what it was.
Exactly.
Right? Then we got it and we're like, this is really dope. But the one thing it's missing is a story. So they're like, oh, we heard you. We're going to put in not just a story, but a fucking amazing,
like a really good story, like an obscenely good story.
Yeah,
and it's
right.
It's like after that, you can't go back to no story. You just can't. You really can't. You gotta have a story, and the bar is pretty damn high after Titanfall 2's story.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, it's very much like Battlefield, right?
Yeah.
But like Battlefield kind of did it backwards. As
Yeah.
like where they had a whole bunch of story and then they came out with no story and everybody was like cue the dodgeball reference, right?
Oh, that's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it works for him or whatever. He said, damn it.
Yeah, something along that line. So yeah, cue that, because it's just like they put that out there thinking it would be enough, and there was a lot missing from previous Battlefields when it comes to like on like in multiplayer, like
Yeah.
destruction of buildings and stuff like that. Like there was like pretty much just like one crazy thing that happened on every map or something like that.
Yeah, and it was usually a
Um,
tornado. It
yeah,
was usually a tornado.
tornado. Yeah, tornado, or yeah, just something explosive or something
Yeah.
like that will happen where it looks like earth shattering for a moment, and it was pretty cool. But it was just like they ran on that so hard in their marketing, and it didn't really pay off, if you're asking me, because no
No, it
one's
did.
talking about that system and that like version of. Remember how big of a deal everybody was like, oh man, Halo Forge isn't going to be shit compared to Battlefield's Forge. You don't hear nobody talking about the Forge for Battlefield.
Yeah. I haven't heard talk of creating maps in Battlefield forever.
Exactly. So I mean, the real meat and potatoes was just picking it up and playing the game and also having a pretty good story, but they went without the story. But so now everybody's like, if you bring back Battlefield again, you got to have a story.
Mm-hmm.
Titanfall is just like, yo, you just gave us one of the best stories of a shooter,
Mm-hmm.
right? You can't not have a story this time around, buddy. Sorry. No way you can turn this into like, oh, we see Apex is falling low. We'll turn this one into a a gas only game, where you're only doing multiplayer, and man, that would stink.
That'd
Man,
piss
that
off
would
a lot of fans too.
I'm telling you, if like the only way they could get away with it for a little bit, but really they'd still make a lot of people really angry. But they'd get away with it for a little bit if they made it free to play. Okay, they would.
Yeah.
They probably would. But I think it'd come back to bite them as soon as any kind of fallout kind of happen.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have any story to fall back on, right?
Yeah. And here's the thing, real quick. I think for multiplayer games, specifically multiplayer, because I need a campaign for Titanfall 3. Make the campaign whatever, $30-$40. Multiplayer should be free to play. In 2023 and your multiplayer game, and that's for everything, not just Titanfall. I just think it's insane when a game launches like Call of Duty. I think it's insane their multiplayer isn't free to play. I think that's crazy. They have Warzone, that's it. I'm sorry, I cut you off there, but I just want to make that point because you brought up free to play. I wanted to make that point.
I'm sorry, what was that?
No, I said I'm sorry I cut you off there. You brought up free to play, and I wanted to make that point.
Yeah. No, that's the only way that I think they could get to like bypass a little bit of negative press, because then they're saying we're just giving you it for free. And then
Yeah,
but the scummy thing about that is then I'm worried about like how much does it cost, like for like I wonder if they're gonna try to charge you for certain Titans, you know what I'm saying? Or something like that,
yeah,
which you get extra scummy. So I really hope that they just keep it as dope as Titanfall 2 was. Just kind of just make a third and just keep the story going, or make a new story and have
yeah.
the same fill with a few extra things. I'd be cool with that.
I'd be ecstatic. I'm just glad they're like even acknowledging Titanfall exists because there's like a 5-year period where they just never did, and so maybe it ends up being false hope, but goddamn, it's nice to see that they're at least having fun with the name Titanfall. Uh, be kind of sick if they were teasing everything and then they just said it's Apex 2 or some shit. It's Apex Legends 2. They just skipped the Apex Legends 3, honestly. Maybe that's what it is. But we will find out. October 27th. I'm excited, man. I mean, you mentioned how good the story was for Titanfall 2. It's probably one of the best stories in an FPS game that I've ever, like, just period. Which is ridiculous considering you also mentioned there was no story. I mean, I guess it was kind of tied into the multiplayer, but there was no story in the first Titanfall. They went from no story to one of the best FPS stories ever made. Also, one of the best levels in an FPS game ever, with that whole switching back and forth with time and everything, was just ridiculous. So, Respawn's a crazy talented developer. I can't wait to see what they do with Titanfall. Hopefully, we don't have to wait too long for Titanfall 3 if that's what this ends up being, because, I mean, man, been waiting long at this point. I'm kind of impatient, but it is what it is. I mean, when do you think, if this is Titanfall 3, when do you think this comes out? Because they did just get off of working on Jedi, and we do know from the actor on Jedi that there is another Jedi game in the works. So if Titanfall 3 does exist, when do you think it would come out?
Oh, I don't think that'd come out until 2020, like the end of 2025.
Damn. Actually, that's not bad. I thought you were going to say 2026. That's not terrible. Tortoise Hawaii, what's
Ain't
up?
great.
It's not the coolest, but I mean, shit, I've waited this long, so
Exactly. In this, to me, pushing it to like the end of 2025. Let's see, then that's only 2 years, and if they're trying to revitalize the franchise, this gives them a chance to remonetize 2 right now and take full advantage of it, soak up as much cash and popularity, keep like giving it a new seasons and stuff like that or whatever, and just say, yo, we're all in on this game now again. And just
sure.
see kind of how it goes. Get money.
Yeah. I mean, look, if in the interim they're going to be supporting Titanfall 2, I mean, hey, take as long as you need. Take as long as you need. But what's up, Tortoise Hawaii? Thank you for stopping by. It's much appreciated. Uh, let's see. I mean, yeah, I would probably agree with that because I was honestly thinking 2026 when I asked you that question. And 2025, I mean, the end of 2025, realistically, it's the end of 2023 now. You said 2 years. I'm fine waiting another 2 years for Titanfall 3. If I gotta wait another 2 years, I'll wait another 2 years. It's no big deal. I've waited this long, another 2 years ain't shit.
Right.
But there is more news to move on to. I mean, we talked about it in chat a few days ago how Activision just came out on Twitter and just said, "Hey, like it's awesome to see." Oh wait, that's the wrong tweet. But they talked about how they're looking forward to closing the deal with Microsoft and the fact that we can expect ABK games to hit Game Pass in 2024. The way it was worded, though, in fact, I'm going to bring it up here real quick. The way that it was worded, though, made it seem like, we won't be seeing anything till 2024. But I think they kind of just meant, hey, you're not going to see Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. You're not going to see Diablo 4 on Game Pass until 2024. But I think we're going to see ABK games in there pretty quick. Like as soon as they possibly can, kind of quick. What do you think about that? As I get this up here.
Yeah, I definitely think we'll start seeing them roll in pretty quick. They want to try to get that money as soon as possible.
Yeah.
I don't see why they'd wait, especially with a game that's already done, polished. All they need to do is put a few things that have to do with Game Pass on it. And
Yeah.
throw it on and
Yeah.
chuck it in there, bud. They're They're just gonna. I mean, they're just gonna be throwing them in there. I'm excited, but I'm more or less excited to see the non Call of Duty game,
Yeah.
just to see what that lineup looks like. Because I'm already aware of the Call of Duties. I already own a ton of the Call of Duty,
Dude, I think I own every single one at this point. It's kind of insane.
and so it's just like the Call of Duty thing is more or less cool for others.
Yeah.
But for me, it's just like, I mean, I'm sure I'll have a Call of Duty. I mean, hell, I got an old Call of Duty downloaded right now. I got two of them. I got Black Ops 2 and Modern Warfare 3, the old one, downloaded already. I'll probably keep those downloaded, keep playing those whenever I feel like playing them, because they're a lot less. And see, what's nice about the older Call of Duties is they're not as taxing on your storage.
No, not even close to. It's like 10
Yeah.
gigabytes.
Right, man. It's not near as taxing, so it's like nice to hop in and play those. And I think a lot of other people will have that same sentiment, that like Call of Duty but don't want to play, or don't really care to play the newest one at all. They just want to be able to play it. Oh yeah, Black Ops 2 is my favorite. Well, you're going to be able to play that all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's going to be the interesting thing to see. Taurus Hawaii in the chat asked a pretty interesting question that not many people I've seen have asked, and I haven't really thought about it. Do you think World of Warcraft will be in Game Pass? And
Of course.
Oh, okay.
I don't see why it wouldn't be. Why wouldn't it be?
The only reason I would say it wouldn't be is because, from what I understand, is this is someone who doesn't play World of Warcraft. So I don't really know. But from what I hear and from what I understand, their whole model, like how they monetize World of Warcraft entirely, is their subscription to World of Warcraft. So the way I've heard it explained by a few people is like, if you were to take World of Warcraft, put it into Game Pass, then it completely cannibalizes that subscription in favor of another subscription. So I don't know. That's just what I've heard. But I think it does make.
In my opinion, it kind of depends on what the perks are of that subscription. Why couldn't those be perks in Game Pass?
I think they could. I think it would take some figuring out, if I'm understanding it properly. That's a big if. I think it would just take some figuring out of, okay, so we monetized it like this. Now we're going to be converting all of whatever this subscription was into Game Pass. Is that like, because there's a stupid amount of people playing World of Warcraft.
There could just be an add-on piece on Game Pass saying, hey, for a couple extra bucks, get the World of Warcraft subscription as well.
Sure.
Rolled in.
That's a good way to take care of that problem, because then you don't have to get rid of the subscription for World of Warcraft entirely. You can just keep that subscription and then add on to Game Pass. Anybody new who wants to play can buy into it, which isn't a bad idea.
Right. I mean, why wouldn't they want to continue to grow World of Warcraft in the way that they choose to grow? I mean, you stuff as packed and full of people as you can, right? Why wouldn't you want to put that in a subscription service? That'd be nuts to me not to do something like that.
Yeah, I mean,
what's up in the chat? What's cracking? Good to see you.
What's up, Tom, Baron, J67? Appreciate you guys for stopping by. We're having fun here, but yeah, I think World of Warcraft and Game Pass makes sense if that's how they're gonna do it. Like, just, a couple extra bucks a month and you get access to World of Warcraft subscription and all whatever perks come with that. I think that's a pretty good way of doing that. Tom says, how's your weekend going? Pretty damn good. So my weekend, I mean, my week,
Not that yet.
my week's going pretty good. We'll say that. My weekend was all right. Tom says, got him. You shut up, Tom.
Yeah. Congrats on your approval and everything.
Yeah, dude. I'm excited. I'm excited.
That's just like a whole lot of stress. Just
yes,
released.
we got the house. We're gonna be moving in. The only thing they need to do is they need to put in a ramp for my mother, and Habitat for Humanity is gonna be doing that, which is really dope. So that's nothing out of pocket for us. So we're all set there, moving in sometime mid-November. So looking forward to that. I'm not moving to Memphis, Tom. I'll tell you that much. That's not happening. But you can you got Memphis all to yourself, bud. You and John Morant running the streets together. I'm all good. You guys, a bunch of insane people down that way. I'm all set over here though. Granted, I mean where I live, it's still insane people. So it's whatever. I mean, what am I even talking about, honestly? I mean, but yeah.
Yeah, Cleveland ain't no better.
No. Dude, dude is especially you get into certain parts of Cleveland, it's bad news. It's bad news. Bunch of crazy people.
See, where I live, it's super duper safe, but it's also super duper dull. And that's why it's super duper safe.
Yes. And I prefer that. I prefer that. If I want exciting stuff, I'll go downtown. I stay outside of downtown most of the time, and I prefer that very much. Roomies. I don't even know, Tom. I'm too big to be in another room with just hanging out in another room with another dude.
He's lost his mind.
Yeah, he is. You're crazy, Tom. But as far as ABK games coming to Game Pass, I'm excited. I mean, I think it's going to be interesting because the way they worded that made it seem like Modern Warfare 3 and Diablo 4 will be coming in 2024, which I didn't think we would see Modern Warfare 3 until the whole Sony part of this deal is done.
The way Diablo was talking prior, like early this summer or even late spring, was like you can forget about seeing it in Game Pass. Like they tried to make it like a period type of situation.
Yeah,
like you can forget about it, but it's just like, and I've said this on other podcasts, it's what they have planned. It's not their company once it's finalized. They're saying what they can for their company. It's not going into Game Pass as far as we know.
Yes. At that exact moment, it's not.
Like those very type of statements, as far as we know, that type of lingo, Xbox doesn't plan on raising price. Doesn't plan on raising prices.
Yes.
It doesn't plan on it, but I mean, I don't plan on tripping down the stairs either.
Yeah.
It just happens.
It just happens, yeah. Nobody plans on that. Tom says, I'm at work. What did I miss? You didn't miss nothing. I mean, we're talking about right now, Activision Blizzard tweeted, it's the 11th. This was 2 days ago they tweeted this, that their games will be coming to Game Pass 2024. Or at least Modern Warfare 3 and Diablo 4 would be coming to Game Pass 2024 is the way I read it. But we'll see. We'll see. I mean, if Modern Warfare 3 comes to Game Pass, let's say as early as next spring, I feel like that's going to work really well because you got a lot of people like, I'm going to get Modern Warfare 3. A lot of people won't. And that's just the way it is for a lot of people. They don't get Call of Duty. But, I mean, when it comes to Game Pass, I mean, shit, those servers are going to be booming, dude. Those are going to be on fire.
Yeah, it's a little scary. Like, even for me, a person that's in gaming and will buy silly things like, $300, consolation editions, and, I'll spend a silly amount on a game that I end up hating, being, Tiny Tina's Wonderland, $90, out the
Yeah.
window. But like, but there's a certain fear that is spending $70 on a game, and then there's another fear on top. There's an extra layer of fear when it's just a year from the last time you spent $70 on the same name game, or 2 years, sure, whatever, 1 to 2 years, right?
Yeah.
There's still a little fear behind that because there's a fear of like, oh man, I'm spending near $100, but is it going to hold up the same way the last one is, or is it going to be hopefully better than the last one because the last one was bad, or
Yep.
there's just a whole lot of like, things that could possibly go wrong, or you get into your head, get a little bit of frustrated, get a little frustrated because you're just uncertain about it. But with the
Yeah.
whole Game Pass, you know, just giving it a try, sure. I mean, what are we seeing from Starfield right now? Tons of people are still buying it,
Yeah.
right? I seen an estimation of between 5 to 10 million on Steam.
I wouldn't be surprised at that. Especially they got such a PC centric community, modding and everything. It's got to be doing stupid numbers on Steam. It's got to
So
be.
and that goes without even that's not even Xbox's platform.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So it's just like, imagine now Call of Duty, and didn't Steam have something about like Call of Duty recently?
Steam something. You can look that up. Maybe it's their games coming to Steam permanently. Hopefully, we'll see.
I thought it was like,
I'll look for it.
yeah, I typed it in just now. I'm gonna see when this last yeah. So a year, just a little over a year ago, there's an article from Game Rant that says Call of Duty is officially coming back to Steam.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Drawn TJ, what's up? Thank you for stopping by, bud.
Like, that's a big deal. Like, if we're just seeing what Starfield did with Steam,
Yeah.
and Call of Duty, it came back to Steam a little over a year ago, while this deal was in the process,
Mm-hmm.
right? You're just like, yo, we just got rid of Starfield on Steam crazy. It's doing good on Xbox, still in the top 3 or whatever, top 5, top 10, I don't know, whatever games being played on Xbox.
Yeah.
Like, imagine a game that sells that hits like 1 billion in 10 days, like Call of Duty going into Game Pass.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
It's gonna do
now it's not just
numbers.
Call of Duty getting 1 billion in 10 days, it's Game Pass getting dumb numbers in a
Yeah.
in a couple days or a couple weeks or a month or whatever. I can just imagine, not this Call of Duty per se, but let's say the next Call of Duty comes. Right? Let's say this one doesn't come into Game Pass until the end of next year, the new Call of Duty.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say that doesn't happen because of whatever, or exclusivity deals, whatever. Right?
Yeah.
Let's say that is what it is. But then the very next Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4 or Black Ops, whatever, comes out and it's day and date on Game Pass. And they have a new Warzone with new phone Call of Duty updates. Like,
Yeah.
dude, that's just Call of Duty for Xbox.
That's
And
like
that's crazy cash. That's a whole lot of cake.
that's a small piece of ABK. Like, and everybody thinks it's the big piece, but I mean, and ABK The K is very important there, and we don't give a shit about the K, but I mean, the K's making money. The K's making a lot of money, a lot more than Call of Duty. So it's like you add Call of Duty to Steam, the biggest platform on PC, and PC being the biggest place to play games. I mean, just statistics wise, it's got the most amount of gamers are playing. Granted, actually, most amount of gamers are playing on mobile. Second is PC, and that's ahead of consoles by a good margin. So you add your game to the biggest platform on PC, it's going to do stupid numbers, especially when your game does stupid numbers in general. It was doing dumb numbers over there on Blizzard's launcher. It's going to be doing even bigger numbers over there on Steam. So it's going to be interesting to see. It's going to be really interesting to see. And I am interested to see, like, we're talking about Call of Duty, but I'm interested to see, like, because I haven't played Spyro. They brought back Spyro with that whole, like, Reignited trilogy. I never played it. I'm trying to play that. Give me that in Game Pass. I'll check that out. I still need to play Crash 4. I bought Crash 4 a while ago. I booted it up, played a little bit. I still need to beat that game. Like, give me didn't they also like do Crash Team Racing remaster or something like that on Xbox One? I can't remember, honestly. I think they did. But I need to play that as well. So give me those games. Give me Prototype in Game Pass. Bobby Kotick was talking about, I saw Jez tweet about, Bobby Kotick was talking about bringing back Guitar Hero.
Yep.
Tom says just got fired. Thanks. You better not have got fired, Tom. I'm gonna run you over, bud. Jesus. But yeah, he's talking about bringing Guitar Hero back, and I'm just like, dude, if you bring Guitar Hero back, like think of the things that Xbox could do. Like, just sell, like, you don't even need to sell the game. You could put it in Game Pass, sell the peripherals, sell the guitar, sell the drum kit, sell whatever. I mean, whatever you're gonna do. I think if you're gonna bring Guitar Hero back, it needs to be like the World Tour version of Guitar Hero. You gotta have the drum kit, you gotta have the guitar, you gotta have the mic and everything if you want to sing or something. But dude, bring that back, put it in Game Pass, and then just sell a bundle of the peripherals. That'll make you money. That will make you money. Just off of nostalgia, that'll make you money. And I'm hyped as hell for Guitar Hero coming back, if it does come back. And then on top of that, you got games like Hexen. Phil Spencer wearing a Hexen shirt at the Xbox showcase. Dude, you guys bring back Hexen. That's gonna be nuts on new consoles. That's gonna be insane. I mean, they got so many options, man. And this ABK deal, they got so many things that they can do. We talked about, as soon as this deal was even like as soon as it first became a thing, we talked about true crime.
Yep.
Dude, a true crime,
I mean, that could be easily redone.
Yeah, in 2023, like, even if you want to just be safe, do like a remake or something. True crime in 2023. Streets of New York or Streets of LA? I'd prefer New York, honestly, but that's
Let's
just
do a
me.
new one. Let's do a new area.
Dude, Chicago. You could do Chicago. You could go to Miami. You could do a lot of different places. That would be pretty. You could do Cleveland.
No, you don't need to do that.
You could do True Crime Streets in Cleveland.
Just see LeBron jerseys on the fucking ground.
Just a bunch of fires in LeBron jerseys. It's not true. My God. I don't know, dude. But yeah, you could bring that series back, and it would be great. And then on top of that, like I said, Prototype, bring back Prototype. Like, there's so many things you could do, especially with the amount of there's so much to talk about there. The amount of studios Microsoft has, the amount of IP that ABK has. Everybody's talking about StarCraft. I don't personally care about StarCraft, but people are talking about like a third-person StarCraft by the Coalition. Yeah, I'll play it. I will absolutely play it. But yeah, man. I mean, there's so much you could talk about there. And I did bring up that thing you were talking about earlier from Tom Warren. Sony is opening up PS5 cloud games streaming to PS5 consoles later this month. It kicks off in Japan first, followed by Europe, and then North America. So look forward to that. Cloud gaming on PS5. Drawn TJ in the chat says Prototype and Vigilant V8. Wait, did Activision do Vigilante?
Yeah.
Wow. Oh my god, dude, bring
Yep.
back Vigilante. What are we even doing? I'm looking that up. Hold on. Dude, if they brought back
Bring that bus back.
Dude, that game was crazy. I remember playing cuz I was into Twisted Metal, and then I played that at a friend's house, and I'm not going to lie, that overtook Twisted Metal for me. That overtook Twisted, especially at the time.
It didn't for me. I'll be honest, it didn't for me. I loved Vigilante 8, but the story behind Twisted Metal was I was just too in deep on it.
I might have been too young for the story. Granted, we're not that far apart in age. I might have been I might just not been paying attention, honestly. All I remember from Vigilante 8 was obviously the car combat, but then the music. The music in Vigilante 8 was just, Twisted Metal had some pretty good music too, but the music in Vigilante 8 was just next level.
They had Rob Zombie in Twisted Metal.
Yep. And I remember I don't remember the name of the song, but I do remember that song exactly. And that song slapped. That song did slap. But yeah, they also made Blur. Blur would be cool. I never played Blur. Did you play Blur back in the day?
No.
Yeah, I never played it. I know people really, really love that game though. So yeah, I'd be down for it. John TG also says we are about to get a huge dump of ABK games Friday. Jez said. Did Jez say this? Hold on now.
Lord.
A Jez Gordon exclusive. Hold on a second. I'm gonna head on over to his Twitter real quick. Oh, might be in this latest article.
I'm looking through some of these games. They just had so many back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously, Mech Warrior.
Mech Warrior, yeah, that's one of them.
Was it Lena Khan said something about that earlier about the rights to that and stuff like that being more available than people think.
Oh wow, Lena Khan's a Mech Warrior fan. That's yeah, I'm trying to skim.
Imagine if they brought back Earthworm Jim.
I never played Earthworm Jim. Was that late 90s?
It was mid 90s.
Mid 90s? Yeah, I didn't play it. I did not play it.
Yeah, man.
I'm still reeling from Vigilante 8, honestly. I did not know they did Vigilante 8.
Yeah, they did Vigilante 8. They did the Fifth Element game, which was terrible.
Fifth Element. I'm gonna look that up real quick.
Yeah, man, they did quite a bit of things. It'd be dope to see a Tony Hawk Pro Skater Underground or Tony Hawk Underground.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be really nice to see.
Definitely.
They previously did a Wu-Tang game, so it'd be interesting. Because I know Wu-Tang is talking about making a game now, but I wonder if that would be any help at all after the deal goes through to be able to help out with that game. I don't know, though. Probably not.
John TJ says they also did the Cabela's hunting game. I remember those games. When I was a kid, I did used to play the Cabela's hunting games. Like on the PS2 and on the original Xbox. I think they're on the original Xbox. I believe they were. But I used to play those games. I haven't played a hunting game in years, though. But it would be cool to see them bring that back. It was fun, honestly. I'm not going to lie to you guys. It was a fun time playing those games.
Dang, they did a Blade game back in the day.
Blade. Oh, wow. Damn. That's big.
Yeah.
Yeah, it opens up so many opportunities, man, because because of Activision. I mean, you can say whatever you want to say about Activision in the last 10 years, but the catalog, the depth that they have, the relationships that they have within the industry, within the industry, it's like they can get you, like, they might be able to get a licensed game easier than just Xbox on their own because of the history that they have with licensed game. You talking about Spider-Man. You just brought up Blade. I mean, it's not a bad idea. Maybe they start pursuing some licensed stuff after
Yeah,
this.
they
I
did
know.
Blade and Blade 2.
I remember Blade 2. I do remember Blade 2. Blade 2 game. That was on the PS2.
Dude, if they could get like another dude, since Marvel's out here trying to, do games and stuff like this, it'd be pretty cool to see them get like an X-Men game.
X-Men would be dope. I mean, like, I want to see. I don't even care who makes it, honestly. It doesn't have to be Activision, but if they want to, then by all means. I want Batman back. I don't want Gotham Knights. I want Batman. I want like.
Well, that's WB though.
Sure it is, but they can also license that out. I mean, what's Rocksteady doing, really? They just spent like 10 years working on. They have not Gotham Knights, but they've been working on Suicide Squad forever at this point.
Yeah,
and it's like
it's not looking too shiny either.
Exactly. So I'm like, dude, license that out to somebody. Let somebody work on that. Drawn TJ is also saying they made Deadpool. Did they make Deadpool? Hold on a second.
Might be a little bit later. I'd have to see. I don't know. Probably. I mean, I don't see why you'd lie.
The publisher is Activision, developed by High Moon Studios. Deadpool video game. Damn, dude. I mean, they've been all over superhero games. Spider-Man, Deadpool, you got Blade. I mean,
let's get gruesome with Prototype though.
Dude, if they brought back Prototype, because I played Prototype, I booted that up on the 360 not too long ago, and what they were doing on the 360 was impressive. If they brought that back on the Series X, Series S, PC, or God forbid they bring it back next gen, oh my God, they'd be able to do some dumb stuff with that game. Some really dumb stuff.
Transformers?
Yeah. I'm telling you, dude, they have to have so many relationships within the industry that they've built just from doing licensed games. So many different studios, so many different outlets that they've worked with, just doing these licensed games. That's gotta help Xbox in some way. Like, we gotta start seeing some more licensed games over here. Tortoise Hawaii says, if Xbox has a Prototype exclusive, I guarantee Sony makes a new Infamous. And I'll tell you what, Tortoise, that's exactly what I want. Because, dude, Infamous Second Son, it gets shit on. I know it gets shit on. I understand that. That was one of the best games I played last generation. Genuinely. I love that game. And that's exactly the situation I want. I want Prototype to come back, and I want it to make PlayStation, or I want Infamous to come back, and I want it to make Xbox make Prototype. Whichever one happens first, I'm fine with. But I want a reality in which Prototype and Infamous are both thriving. You said you lived in Seattle for 5 years, so you love Second Son. How accurate was that representation of Seattle? Because I've never been to Seattle, but I know I did see people say it was relatively accurate. That whole Seattle area and Infamous Second Son. Leave a comment on that. Let me know how accurate that was, because I'm interested to know that. Lady Foxfire, what's up? Appreciate you for stopping by. But yeah, we're honestly.
I appreciate you guys stopping by, man. I just threw a tweet on Twitter, and a bunch of people's coming through. I appreciate it.
Hey, it's much appreciated for sure. We're just going over a ridiculous catalog of Activision Blizzard games. Honestly, it's kind of what we've been doing. But yeah, dude, In fact, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to type in licensed Activision games. Just out of curiosity, like what's the whole list? Is there even a list that I can find? X-Men Origins. They did that. X-Men Origins Wolverine. Excuse me. Doris White says it was a decent version of Seattle. Yeah, that's what I heard. It looked amazing, especially if you play that on PS5. You can the frame rate's unlocked in the quality mode or whatever. Lady Foxfire says she'll go back and listen to the stuff she missed later. I mean, hey, it's much appreciated. Thank you for stopping by. Man. All right. Damn, I completely forgot to bring up Halo. I'm sat here looking for Activision games like a fiend. But we should probably talk about Halo because there's a massive update coming to Halo Infinite October 17th, so next Tuesday. And this is a big deal.
Oh yeah, that's crazy.
Dude, it brings a lot of stuff to the game. I mean, the most exciting of which for me personally, and I'm gonna hand it off to you as well, but AI and Forge. AI and Forge, as well as at some point during the season, we'll be getting Firefight King of the Hill. So look forward to that as well. But I'm hyped for AI and Forge. What are your thoughts? Have you read over any of the notes for Halo Infinite Season 5?
Yeah, I read over some of them. I mean, Firefight, let's go. Bringing that back. I like co-op a lot. I enjoy some multiplayer PvP as well sometimes, but I'd rather do co-op on things. It's just more fun. I like team building things.
Yeah.
So hearing that they're bringing more of that kind of stuff back is just gonna go positively for the for the history of Halo Infinite. Like it got off
Yes.
to a good start and then fell off fairly quick. And then what have we been seeing? I mean, there was a long lull.
About a year.
Before we really got anything.
Yeah.
But it's crazy. It's like we're literally watching Chief climb back up the mountain, one, rock at a time. Like you can't keep me down. And I've been telling people this. For a long time. So many people are out here saying the Halo is dead. And I'm just like, dude, it can't die.
Yeah,
Like
Xbox
you don't
isn't gonna let it
understand.
die.
An IP like this doesn't fall over because you have a face for it or a helmet, I guess. But this isn't like a Killzone situation or like some sort of Knockout City situation where it's like, oh, it was hot for a little bit, but if it goes down, then bye. Like, no, this is way too historic. So it may go a little quiet. It may even go dormant, but it is never dead. It just isn't. And until somebody takes, all the people that love Halo and goes and takes them to New Mexico and buries them like they did them ET games, like, bro, it is not going anywhere. But seeing that firefight stuff was hot to me. Seeing the new maps that they're going to be adding sound interesting as well. Seeing the flood stuff that's going to be implemented as well in that game looks hella interesting because I mean, if you're really a Halo fan, you have been missing the hell out of the flood. It's like freaking the Borg. And it's like the Borg in Star Trek, right? It's just a freaking infectious, disgusting people that you don't like. but they're so necessary because they give off the sense of, I mean, like when you play Call of Duty and you're playing zombies, it gives you that same sensation when you're going versus the flood,
Yes.
where it just feels like we're not going versus enemy, like human enemy AI, where they're just
No.
kind of running around and hiding, or and we're not going versus aliens either. They're throwing, I mean, sure they do throw some grenades, but like they're like, the grunts and stuff are much more likely to throw grenades, much more likely to shoot you with all these different types of weapons.
Yeah.
But the flood, they'll have weapons, sure, but they will literally do what their name is and just flood you and just physically beat your ass
They are
until you are
aggressive.
dead.
Yes.
So just seeing that they're implementing some flood thing gives me like a ray of hope that they're gonna be bringing the flood back in some capacity down the line. And I tell you what, seeing all this stuff come out, I don't remember who I seen say this not that long ago, but I thought it was pretty brilliant. They're like, don't be surprised if they're working on these seasons, making it better, and then all of a sudden new DLC for the story.
Yeah.
Just all of a sudden.
I wouldn't mind that. I thought it'd be exciting, honestly. I really want a new story, especially after what they did with Infinite. I felt like the story in Infinite was really, really good. And to hear the news of them, like, the story team was basically let go, it's like, come on, man. You guys gotta follow that up. You got to. You can't leave us hanging on that. Taurus Hawaii says, I want Halo to have co-op raids like Destiny. I think that would be dope. I agree with that. Drawn TJ says they need to add Warzone from Halo 5 and to Halo Infinite. Warzone would be great. I mean, of all the modes I played in Halo 5, the one I played most, I mean, for the first like 3-4 months when Halo 5 was out, I was like locked into Warzone. I couldn't stop playing. And I was addicted to that for a minute. And then I came back to it and it was just super sweaty. But for that first 4 months, man, I was locked into Warzone. It would be cool to see them bring that back in some capacity. But I do love the idea of co-op raids, especially if this game is going to be the whole, the joke is the whole 10-year plan. But if it really is a 10-year plan, you need stuff like that in your game, where I can play with my friends, and it doesn't have to be the campaign again. We can play co-op raids that are new, that you're adding, 1 or 2 raids a season, adding new events and everything, keeping it fresh. I mean, that would be the play to keep a game like this alive for the long term. I would love to see that. It just, there's so many, and like, especially with the Banished in Halo Infinite, there's so many like enemies that were really, really cool from that campaign. So many boss fights, like Thelvadam with like that dude who would just go invisible, and he had the sword, and he was like, he was stalking you in that room, basically. That shit was cool. If you could do like a strike based around Thelvadam, or a raid, I guess you call it, based around Thelvadam's character, it would be sick. I would love that. But dude, yeah, there's a lot to this Halo Infinite Season 5. But oh my god, that's a big amount of stuff. Good lord. Let me bring it up here over here. This one's a little bit more contained. So the big things, obviously AI and Forge. There's also going to be a winter contingency event, just like last year. You guys remember that, where you get winter-based or holiday-based armor, I guess would be the more accurate term for that. And then also battle passes. You still get, I think they're bringing it down to 50 levels per battle pass. I'm going to have to double check that, but I thought that's what I just read. I want to go back to Halo Waypoint. 50 total tiers. Okay. So 50 total tiers in the Battle Pass, including 20 tiers of free content. So it goes from 100 tiers, I believe, to 50 tiers, which I'm down with that. But yeah, man. I mean, this comes out next Tuesday. So you think Starfield, I'm playing Cyberpunk, Forza's out, Spider-Man comes out a few days after this. And then, dude, it's a busy time. It's a busy month for gaming. It is a really busy month for gaming.
Finally,
awesome.
PlayStation, your time is almost here.
Right? We got a first-party PlayStation game. They exist. It's happening. But dude, it's exciting stuff, man. I mean, I can't wait for this. Obviously, the new maps are going to be big as well. But dude, it's just I'm really hyped for the flood-based armor, and that AI in Forge actually kind of makes me want to hop into Forge and try to properly learn it this time. Actually, give a proper effort to learn Forge. But yeah, man, I'm excited. But with that being said, that is the end of our topics. Unless you want to add something, Ham, you got anything to add topic-wise?
No, I'm good.
All right. Well, then let's head into our outros. Ham, get us started. Where can they find you, bud?
Yeah, you can find me obviously here every Wednesday. I'm on K Mega's channel every other Monday and on Fridays for the GRG podcast. And then I have my own channel, obviously, at TSWS Gaming here on YouTube. I do shows on there every other Monday. That's where me and K Mega we have a podcast called The Crossover, where one Monday I'm on his channel, the next Monday we're on mine. Just kind of going back and forth. Tuesday, me and Luke do the lowdown. Wednesday, I'm here. Thursday, I do Behind Them Six, which tomorrow I have a episode with a lady that goes by the name of Synthetic. She is pretty dope. Got a pretty large following. She plays Xbox, PlayStation, whatever. She didn't care. So it'll be a pretty interesting interview tomorrow, and then Friday you can see us for one of my favorite times of the week, Friday, for the bull sitting show. Me, Loke, Cozy Beluga, Matt Likes Games, and a guest.
Yeah.
So we'll definitely be seeing how that's going. But good show, not too crazy long. Definitely some stuff to look forward to, and gaming has been crazy. It's been keeping me busy.
Dude, yeah, hell yeah, dude. And that's awesome, man. But as for myself, you can find me on Twitter at MattLikesGames. Obviously, you can find me here every Wednesday, 2 p.m. Eastern, for the Two Player Podcast with Ham Solo. And then Mondays and Fridays, videos at 11 a.m. Eastern. Check those out on my channel as well. And then, like Ham said, I'm over there on his channel with him, Loke, and Cozy every Friday for bull sitting. And then we also have, I mean, it seems like a lot of stuff, honestly, the way I keep saying it. But we also have the Game Drain on Sundays at 8 p.m. Eastern. Check that out as well under the title The Game Drain. That's the channel name on YouTube. So look out for that. With that being said, that is the end of our show. We will see you guys next week. Thank you for watching.